After months of working on a new product, it's time for my brand to soft launch into the world. But now the next challenge begins. How do I secure my initial sales and start to scale? In this video, I will outline my strategic plan to introduce my new product to the market, test with customers, and gather the feedback necessary to move forward. Whether you're about to launch your own product or looking for actionable strategies to boost initial sales, this video is for you. My idea is to make weighted sportswear to help athletes get more out of their training. The thesis is that people who care about health and fitness are willing to wear weighted sportswear as long as it's comfortable, looks good, and doesn't interfere too much with their movements and regular activity. So that's what I'm trying to create with my new sportswear brand, Natural Resistance. It has been a long product development process, developing the fabric from scratch and trying different ways to produce it. It has been filled with so many problems, everything from getting the right amount of weight, to getting the right elasticity, to making sure it looks good, and making sure it's durable enough to be worn over long periods of time. But now it's finally at a stage where I believe it is good enough to really start testing with customers. And I need to try to sell it, or at least gauge interest, to justify further investments in machines, product, and people. So here's my plan. I will do it in 3 ways. Number 1, posting for reach on social media. To do that, I'm building out a home studio, increasing the quantity and improving the quality of my content. I think the benefit of a large and engaging social media account is quite self-explanatory, but basically the idea is to grow an audience who are interested in natural resistance and potentially will become customers themselves or refer other customers to the brand. As I'm still so early in the process, I will be focusing mostly on my personal brand as the founder of the company rather than the company brand itself. Unfortunately, I don't have the time and resources to put out the high quality content that I believe Natural Resistance deserves. This is the compromise that allows me to make content relatively quickly and inexpensively, while still hopefully resonating with the people who are interested in the project and interested in supporting me. So if you decide to subscribe, that means a lot to me, and you can expect more type of behind the scenes content like this, where I discuss my thoughts around the company strategy and the progression of the brand. For any aspiring entrepreneur going through a similar journey, I also think it's a cool thing to be sharing the process of my journey while I'm in it, especially if it's successful, but also if it fails, it can serve as a great learning lesson for myself and other people to take with them. The second way that I plan to get my initial product sales and start growing is to engage my friends, family, and relative network. My goal here is to get as many people as possible to try out the shorts and give their feedback on it. Even a small network can yield a great result because people talk, and at some point you will get to the right person. I'm not alone in this project. With my background in sports, I have a bunch of friends who are happy to help and help me get this started. Up until this point, it has been hard to involve them because I haven't had anything tangible to share, but now I do, so I will try to engage more people in the project and hopefully even get some more people on my team who share my vision for the company and the brand. So if you're watching this video and you'd be interested to get involved in some way, please don't hesitate to leave a comment or send me a message. Number 3, making a list of potential customers and reaching out to them directly. This is my secret weapon, which unfortunately I can't completely share yet, but basically I found a way to get a list of thousands of people who I believe are my exact target audience. I will filter out the people in the Netherlands and Sweden to start with, and basically just start approaching them. And this is important because it really helps to scale my efforts. A potential customer list is a super valuable asset for any startup because it really helps to scale the efforts that you put in. It is never bulletproof and most people will not respond, but even if just a small percentage of the people on the list respond, that's a huge win for someone who has 0 sales and 0 people involved in the project. So it really increases the probability of finding someone who is interested in your product without you having to grind too much. It's still a big hustle, but you can still survive. It is huge compared to the effort that you have to put in if it comes to, for example, just approaching random people. Building or finding a list like this can be almost equally as hard as creating a great product from scratch. It's a huge asset for any brand. Sometimes you need to be quite innovative. Some people might think it's unethical or insensitive to hunt down and reach out to people like this. But if you're that person, you really know nothing about sales and nothing about entrepreneurship. It is really, really hard to create a new product from scratch, and people won't just come and buy your product, even if it's a great product. And you have to put in a lot of work. So a list like this is really a great way to get something going in the first place. And then after that, once you get some traction, then you can rely more on referrals and that other good stuff. Because this is how you do it in the early stage, guys. It's a hustle. Even with a great product, people won't just come and buy it because they don't know you and they don't trust you. Number 4, cold approach at relevant sports and fitness venues. The last part of my strategy to get some of those initial sales, if all else fails, is to cold approach people at relevant sports and fitness venues. I don't think I will have much time to do this, and I hope it doesn't come to it because it just takes so much time and effort to do it. But if everything else fails, that's the only option I've got. The good thing about this last step is that it's also great content for for social media. So if I find someone who can record me as I make these cold approaches, I think it's a recipe for success. The goal here is not necessarily to cold approach people and sell them on the spot, but to approach people and open up their eyes for the product is great for the brand. And if they like it, if they can see themselves use it, they can also spread the word of the brand and get to people who might actually buy it and who will buy it. I don't think it will work to sell it on the spot just because it's such an expensive product, but we'll see. And of course, under this point, I can also actually approach the actual sports venues and like talk to them. And so if I can show my product there and stuff like that, to partner with them. But in a similar way, that would be cold approaching because I don't know the gyms or I don't know the stadiums or whatever. So some of you might think, why not ads or why not influencer marketing? The truth is that both of these strategies would be great, but I simply don't have money for it. And I don't think they are the best way to test a brand. A lot of people point to these ways as a great way to test a new product. Yeah, while it's easy, it's quickly, you know, if it's like a drop shipping product, something like that, maybe it could work. But if you're actually trying to build a strong, long-lasting brand that will last generations, you won't be able to find that out through Google Ads. And I prefer to go the hard way and really test and really see if people are wanting to buy this. And if they're not, I want to find out why. I'm not just going to spend $50 on ads, and if I don't sell 3 times the multiple, give up. That's not how I'm doing it. Also with influencer marketing, I know I don't need to pay them. I can also gift them a product, basically sending them a product for free. But the thing is that even product gifting is quite expensive for me because the product is quite expensive. So without an investor, I need to try to keep control of the few products I have so that I can either sell it or use it myself to make content and stuff like that. Ads and influencer marketing is something that I can definitely see adding on top of my existing efforts later if I can see that it works and I can see that I have a sustainable business. But up until that point, I'm saving that money. Now, I know the biggest thing going against the existence of natural resistance in the first place is the high price point of the fabric and therefore the clothes. They are expensive, and this is the most important thing for me to test. It's one thing if they like it and if they like the product, that's great, but are they willing to actually buy the product at that price point? Because if they're not, I don't have a business. And it's also important to go really deep here and figure out if they're not willing to buy, is there something that is gonna make them willing to buy it at that price point? And if I can figure that out, I can add that and enhance the value proposition towards the customer. The amount of time, thought and effort that has gone into developing the fabric is immense, and it is really a special fabric. I do think it justifies the price, and it's not available anywhere else. It is made of really precious materials, pure tungsten, which is the heaviest material in the world. Using these materials is the only way to create a fabric that is heavy enough to be useful, but also slim and good looking enough to be stylish and comfortable. So what do you think? Am I on the right track? Am I missing something? Let me know in the comments below if you have any ideas on how I can get this product out to market faster. Hopefully these efforts will bear fruit, and that will be the start of natural resistance. So wish me good luck.